Minecraft has over 100 million monthly users. With those kinds of numbers, it's sort of a crime that the game is so scattered. All of your personal statistics and accomplishments are totally private. Notch had publicly expressed plans of making global high scores for statistics, but as easy as this would have been to implement, it never came to fruition. There's so many worlds and stories that we'll never know about. The most absurd worlds, the most worked on single player worlds ever created, maximum game times, let alone the high score competition you could elicit in all the different statistics categories, whether it's mining blocks, killing mobs, even crafting stuff. All of that data and all of those stories, forever unknowable. So many people have done so many legendary things in this game, and they don't get the recognition they deserve. There's been lots of rumors and whispers in Build the Earth over the years of legendary builders building village after village in the Middle East, building entire towns in rural America, or the insane progress scaling done by the hardcore Russians. But today we're pulling from the ether a single builder in Argentina, Aki, who has built over 5,000 houses in Buenos Aires. If you'll remember, in the top 10 video we featured Santa Cruz de la Slot, a tiny island crammed with a ton of buildings. This area is like that, on steroids. Much larger and even more population crammed with over 40,000 people living in this area. This is Barrio Mugica. Aki started this project at the very beginning, April 2020. I mean, he would have to. I can't conceive of this being done with even that amount of time. What makes my brain greasy about this is there's nothing grid-like or symmetrical about it. You can't just finish one block at a time. It's a giant, sprawling, chaotic, never-ending, beautiful mess. And it makes sense. During the Great Depression almost 100 years ago now, immigration was going nuts in Buenos Aires, and this place practically popped up overnight with the steady accumulation of people coming to America. Over the century, the local authorities had repeatedly tried to eliminate this area, being completely out of code with the city's design, but they never completely succeeded. In 2016, a law was passed to proceed with funding that would urbanize the area to the rest of the city's standards with the building of totally new infrastructure to the area. Aki doesn't live in this villa, which is very interesting to me. He lives in the city and wanted to build it and was looking for an area to start on. He chose the larger area encapsulating Barrio Mugica because it was a mashup of everything the city has to offer. A port, train stations, subways, rail yards, parks, skyscrapers, European-style palaces, military buildings, and more, all within walking distance. He began flirting with this area, building stuff around it, afraid to start on the monolith of tangled urban jungle gym. But after his server went down for 2 months, when it came back, he decided to go for it. He thought he could kill it in 6 months. Boy, was he wrong. You would think that a task this intense and insurmountable would leave someone panicked, desperate to finish as fast as possible. The quality of this map doesn't reflect that type of approach at all. Every street, row of buildings, cluster of living, all candy-coated in delicious Minecraft detail that accentuates and gives thought and effort to every home, business, and structure. A highway overpass bisects this whole area, as you've been able to see. And I thought with the whole idea of there being limited data that if I looked under the overpass in different places, I could find empty spots. No, I explored this place for hours. To the best of his ability, every crevice of this area is finished with immaculate care and focus. Here's a testament to the level of care and detail Aki was putting into every area of this. One of the hilarious things he kept finding was being a low-income settlement, all sorts of spelling mistakes or silly stock images used in the local business's advertisements. So he tried to implement these into his map as much as possible. The more you research his history, the more you realize that its inhabitants come from generational poverty. Most are direct descendants of the workers that arrived here during the Great Depression. A stark example of just how connected and stacked this historical reality is would be a street view shot he discovered with a slightly dug pit from construction and walking traffic, which reveals an exposed 100-year-old train track from when the area was just a train depot for the area prior to the Great Depression immigration. Every day, these people are literally walking on artifacts of history. Also, this area is harder to build than the average area we choose to do and build the Earth. It has 3D data, but barely. The shapes are inaccurate and all over the place. He couldn't just rely on perfect data the way we can with most other metropolises worldwide, or at least in the West. A way you can imagine this is the twisty building landscape from a movie like Aladdin. He's ducking through alleys, walkways that go through houses, twisting this way and that way, literally an urban jungle. Aki had to account for every single one of those. A lot of civilizations in South America and also the East are like that. One big example is Mecca, which hosts these incredibly huge buildings and then this endless metropolis of 1 to 2 story Arabian slums. These areas, built meticulously in Minecraft, would be one of the more amazing things to explore in our project when fully finished. And for now, Aki is the sole builder of the largest one ever yet completed. Because Aki's worked on this for 3 years, it encompasses the entire length of his building skill progression, meaning that some of his first areas he worked on were unsatisfactory enough to the point where he went back and redid some of them. You can add those redone houses to the total. As he was finishing these 5,000 buildings, new Street View started to come out for the area. Street View for this area was added so infrequently that he had been working with 2016 Street View the whole time, and the 2022 Street View revealed the progress of the urbanization law passed in 2016. New roads, new parks, bike lanes, schools, quality housing, basketball courts, goodbye dark obscure houses under the highway, hello parks. Aki expressed regret of not being able to update the area, as is his personal standard. But I disagree. There's a history and vibe to this place that captures a unique group of people, and the way they live their life that will be slowly erased by modern urbanization of the area. Getting a snapshot of the area within that historical time frame is, in my opinion, preserving its soul. I asked Aki what kept him going, how he kept working on this for so many years to finally complete the villa. Aside from messing around with his friends, one thing he said was researching that history. Every building built, every street cared for, required a level of study and learning about the area that, in a way, makes you entangled with the lives of the people that live there. The hallways we walk through, the places we visit, all the various things we do that make up a day, and 365 different days of doing different things that make up the complex tapestry of a year of someone's life, is all lived out in and among these structures. We're painting the story of human lives into Build the Earth's bones with every block we place. Every person who's passed before us, whether 2 months ago or 200 years ago. Every person living today. And every single person who will ever be born will have a tied context to the physicality of our world, the books we loved, the lives we lived in these rooms, the feelings we have for our childhood house. So much of this project will mean so much to every person on Earth who has lived through experiences with every place that we put our hearts and minds into making that corner of real life come alive through Minecraft. So join us and make your corner of real life come alive today. A huge thanks to our top tier supporters, Cristiano Frazinetti, Jonathan Finelli, Omsit, Thibault Tollett, and EPRB. If I was a 747 jumbo jet and you were a mooseberry tart pie, I think you get my meaning.